What is YouTube? Is Coffee Prodigy back with another video, and today we're going to finally be doing the shooting guard tiers. I said it's going to come out like last week, and so we're like in like the middle, like the week after last week, but it is what it is. But yeah, we got the shooting guard tiers. We did the point guard tier list already, so if you guys want to check that out, I recommend doing that if you guys want to look at that. But yeah, the tiers are kind of different for this one. So if you look at the point guard tiers, so we have the tiers as GOAT, really good, good, but what is that? Usable, trash, and haven't used. We still have some of those tiers here. But yeah, for this one we have best of the best, which we're using best of the best because I don't think there's like a GOAT shooting guard. It's like a bunch of really good shooting guards. So we got best of the best here instead. We got pretty good, which means like it's basically really good. It's basically the same exact thing. Almost good enough means like they're in between like the if I have to tier, which basically means I guess I'll use them, and the what's the name, and the pretty good tier. So I feel like we need like something in between there, or we'll have like too many players in the if I have to tier, which I don't really feel that way about those players. So I would say they're like in between that. And then if I have to, basically like mid. And then leave ASAP is pretty self-explanatory, and then having used as well as pretty self-explanatory. So yeah, we got all the shooting guards in the game. I know for the last video, I didn't actually put Trae Young in the video, and then we forgot about Oscar Robertson later on in this video. I'm pretty sure we have all the shooting guards in the game. If we don't, I guess let me know down in the comment section. I'll add them to the tier list. But if you guys want to do this, same with the last one. The link will be in the description. But yeah, let's go ahead and get right into this. All right, so starting off, we got, of course, Michael Jordan here. I'm going to put him in best of the best. I feel like Michael Jordan, the reason I say that, like, there's not a GOAT shooting guard, because I feel like all the shooting guards in this game that are, like, really good are, like, missing something. Where for Michael Jordan, it's his three-point shot and his, like, jump shooting kind of in general. His mid-range shot's pretty good, but his three-point shot, like, if I had to kick it out to you for a while in three, I can't really trust MJ to hit that shot. So you kind of have to upgrade his three, unfortunately, even though he's not really that good at it. Even if you upgrade it, his release is still not the greatest. But yeah, Michael Jordan, I'm gonna put him in best of the best. Moving on, we got Manu Ginobili right here, where I'm going to put in the do I want to put him in? I want to put him in if I have to. Manu's kind of small. He doesn't really defend the best. His jump shot is like kind of slow as well. The same thing with Michael Jordan. Maybe if you're a good dribbler, maybe he's pretty good for you. But personally, I don't really like using his cards that much. But he's like decent, I would say. So yeah, I'll put him in that tier. That's basically the mid tier. Moving on, we got Dylan Brooks, which I haven't used enough stuff. Same with Jalen Green. Same with Coutinho Mobley, which I don't think he's got like one card, or he's got like one card. It's been like an emerald, so you can't really use that card in head to head. Tim Hardaway Jr. I haven't used this card enough. I've used this card like sometimes, but I haven't used him enough. Like I usually get like a replacement pretty quickly when I use Tim Hardaway Jr. Tyreek Evans, I don't even have this card. This card isn't craftable, and you can only get him like last season. So and he's emerald, so you can't put him in the draft for it. So it's kind of impossible to get this card if you did not get him last season and you don't already have him. Moving on, we got Devin Booker right here, which I'm going to put in the almost good enough tier. Devin Booker, the main problem with him is his defense, and then he's like not that fast where you can create his own shot. So he's basically just like a spot up shooter, and if he's like a spot up shooter, he don't got the defense. He's not even like 3-and-D. He's just like a pass out spot up shooter. Even his jump shot isn't really the greatest. If you like master it, could probably be really good for you, but his jump shot is kind of like different than a lot of players in the game, which why I'm putting him in the almost good enough tier. Think on, we got Dennis Johnson, which I feel like Dennis Johnson is incredibly underrated in this game. Maybe because he doesn't really have that many good cards. I believe his best card is like an emerald, or I think it's a ruby on the Celtics, but in the underdog scene. But Dennis Johnson, I'm gonna put him in the almost good enough tier as well. He's like a really good defender. He's really good at drivers from. He's like a 2 or 3-point shot. But if you have like the mentor, with the way mentors work this season, with like if you get like a 3-point boost on him, you can boost him to like a 6 and 3-point shot. And this card is like in the pretty good tier in my opinion. But Dennis Johnson, he's a really good defender. I recommend trying out Dennis Johnson if you have not already. Really good lockdown defender, and like the jump shot release, which is why he's also in this tier. The jump shot release isn't bad considering it's only a 2, but he has like I think he has a 5 mid range. I'm not completely sure about that, but Dennis Johnson, pretty underrated card. Moving on, we got the Kobe Bryant card, which I feel like is getting underrated in this game at this point. I'll put him in the best of the best tier. His jump shot is better than Michael Jordan's. He's not as fast as Michael Jordan. His post shot is better than Michael Jordan's. His defense is still pretty good. Like he's giving you basically everything besides the speed. So I'll put him in that tier as well. Especially people talking about we're gonna get to Trace McGrady in a little bit, but like Trace McGrady is becoming overrated as well. Terrence Mann, they gave me like a lot of Terrence Mann cards. They gave me like 13 Terrence Mann cards by the end of that theme. But like I have not used that card whatsoever. He has like a 3 defense. He doesn't have. He might have like one stat like a 4, but like the rest of the stats like 3 and everything. So I haven't used that card. I don't have any intention of using that card. Moving on, we got Moses Moody right here, which I haven't used. He came out last season in the rookies team. He hasn't gotten a new card since, but he's like the same thing as Terrence Mann. Even if I get that card, I'm not completely sure I'm gonna use him right away. Moving on, we got Paul George, which we're gonna put in a pretty good tier. Paul George, he's defense. He has a 3-point shot. The only thing about Paul George, he can't really create his own shot the best because he's really not that fast, and his jump shot's kind of slow, but it's like really easy to hit as far as like greens and stuff like that. But he is still pretty good, so we're gonna put him in that tier right there. Really good 3-and-D shooting guard. He's also a really tall shooting guard. He was small forward back in season, I believe that was season 2 at this point. Yeah, season 2. So yeah, he was small forward, and they moved him down to shooting guard because he played in the Clippers with Kawhi. So he is still a pretty good shooting guard. Monte Ellis, I haven't used this card enough. I probably used him like one time. I wouldn't say I've used him enough to rank him. Jordan Poole, I don't think I've touched his card whatsoever. I think he's craftable for the J tier, but I didn't get his Dark Matter card. I think his Dark Matter card might have been pack exclusive actually. And then yeah, all his other cards did not get. Moving on, we got Klay Thompson. We're gonna put him in the best of the best tier. The reason for this is Klay's got a really good release, and usually like if you have a point guard, if you have like one of the better point guards in the game, if you have a good point guard that can create their own shot, then you don't really need your shooting guard to really be doing that much. Which is why Klay Thompson is gonna be in this tier. He's really good on defense. He has a good 3-point shot with range, which is really good as well. His 3-point release is pretty easy to hit as well. So yeah, we're gonna put him in the best of the best tier. Thinking about shooting guards, I expect him to be more off ball behind the point guard. But yeah, moving on to CJ McCollum, we're going to put him in. He'll either be in this tier or this tier. Thinking about CJ McCollum, that his defense is bad. He's also short, so even if you upgrade defense is still pretty bad. The 3-point shot is like okay. Mid-range shot is pretty good. He has a pretty decent moving mid-range shot. But like a lot of shooting guards that you see, you got MJ. Think about point guards that there's not really that many good defending point guards in the game. But for the shooting guards, you got MJ, you got Kobe, you got Klay, you got Paul George, you got Dennis Johnson, which he doesn't really get cards like that. But you have Kobe, what's his name, and MJ, which you're gonna see like every single game. So we're gonna put him in the if I have to tier. If you're playing like fantasy finals, I wouldn't recommend using CJ McCollum cards in general. I wish they moved him to point guard because he's playing point guard for the Pelicans right now. He would probably actually be usable if they move him down to the point guard position, but I doubt. I wonder if that's ever gonna happen because like if we continue carrying our cards over, we'll see what happens. But like, will we have like a CJ McCollum point guard and a shooting guard card? I guess we will see what happens. Moving on, Gary Payton II. I haven't used this card. I'm pretty sure he's not pack exclusive. I just haven't gotten this card. He has like a really good defensive stat, but I haven't used him. So hopefully get to use him pretty soon. Anthony Simon, same thing. Haven't used his card. He hasn't had a good enough card to where I can play with him like head to head or something like that. But he does have a 3-point shot. But he also has a 2 in defense, which that's that. Moving on, we got Shea, which I wanted to put him in the almost good enough tier as well. He's a pretty tall shooting guard. Mid-range shot's pretty good. 3-point shot isn't the greatest, which I would probably recommend upgrading that. He has like the wingspan to be a good defender, so that he has that as well. So tall, yeah, good defender. So yeah, same thing. It's like the defense of a Tracy McGrady, basically, if you don't upgrade his defense. But moving on, Josh Giddey. I haven't used this card enough to be completely honest with you. He hasn't really gotten any good cards. This card was pack exclusive, so I wasn't able to use it. And then the rookies card, I didn't get it early enough to where I could use it in like head to head or something like that. But he is one of the tallest shooting guards in the entire game. So yeah, I'm gonna put him in the haven't used tier for now though. Moving on, we got Tracy McGrady, which I feel is extremely overrated. He doesn't really hit wild open shots even for like goal releases. He's pretty good at driving to the rim, but you have to like upgrade his playmaking or something like that. And defense at like a 4. I need Davis to be higher. As I said, if you're going to be going up against the what's the name, the MJs, the Kobe's, and the Klay Thompsons, then I need your defense to be higher. So I'm going to put him in pretty good tier. I think it's completely overrated at this point. His post scoring, I would say, is pretty good though. He has like, if you upgrade his defense, he has the wingspan to like get steals and stuff like that and play pretty lockdown defense. But like, I wouldn't say like you have to upgrade multiple things with Tracy McGrady. You have to upgrade his defense. You have to upgrade his playmaking. So he can get faster, and then you have to upgrade his 3-point shot so he can actually hit wide open 3. Because he didn't hit wide open 3s. Like, unless you're gritting him, like even goal release, I don't trust Tracy McGrady goal releases enough in this game. So which is why we're gonna put him in the pretty good tier. Moving on, we got Penny Hardaway. Which when Penny Hardaway gets a really good card, you guys are gonna know about Penny Hardaway. Penny Hardaway's a pro card. I'm pretty sure it's crackable, but we're gonna put him in the best of the best tier. His defense is pretty good. His 3-point shot is really good as well. The release is really easy to hit. And like it's just pretty simple. He's good at driving for him. He's basically good at everything in the entire game. Only thing about him, he's a 4 in defense and 3-point shot. So I'll probably recommend upgrading those stats right there. But he's already fast enough to where you can get to the rim, and he's tall enough to where you can hit post shots on what's the name players. But yeah, Penny Hardaway, we're gonna put him in that tier. If he was like still what's the name, still a point guard, he'd probably be in the GOAT tier along with Curry, in my opinion. But yeah, moving on, we got Victor Oladipo right here. Victor Oladipo's pretty good. The only thing about him is he's kind of undersized for the shooting guard position. So we're gonna put him in the pretty good tier. He's good 3-point shot, good defending. He's not the fastest, but pretty decent dunk animation, stuff like that. So we're gonna put him in the almost good enough tier. Yeah, moving on, Max Strus. Haven't used this card whatsoever. We're gonna scroll down a little bit so we don't keep on interacting with that thing. Next up, Tyler Hero. Haven't used this card enough. Dwayne Wade. We're gonna put him in almost good enough tier. I hate how Dwayne Wade's cards aren't really good in this game. You kind of have to upgrade his playmaking and his agility. And like he's like his nickname was the Flash. He's really good at getting to rim in real life or when he played in the NBA. So I hope like they make a change to Dwayne Wade cards where they make him faster, because I feel like he should be at the very least in the pretty good tier, because he is one of the greatest shooting guards of all time. But he's just not that good. I would say Victor Oladipo was better than Dwayne Wade in this game. So yeah, moving on, we got Dell Curry right here, which we're gonna put him in the if I have to tier because of the defense. 3-point shots are actually pretty good, but the defense is like really atrocious. And I think there's like 2 in defense, I'm pretty sure, but defense is not good. As I said about C.J. McCollum, he's also a smaller shooting guard, so he can't really be used that well. Yeah, moving on. James Bouknight, have not used this card that much, so we're gonna put him in the haven't used tier. Terry Rozier, we're gonna put him in the if I have to tier. He's an undersized shooting guard, but he's actually pretty decent at hitting his shots. So we're gonna put him in the if I have to tier. It's also his defense isn't the greatest. I say if you're going against like the MJs, the Kobe's, the Clays, then you need your defense to be better. Bogdanovich, haven't used this card enough. Pete Maravich, we're gonna put him in the. Okay, think about Pete Maravich. All right, let's put him. We're gonna put him if I have to for now. Think about Pete Maravich. He's not the fastest. His defense is at like a 4. His 3-point shot went down from a 5 to a 4 last season. So his 3-point shot, you kind of have to upgrade 3-point shot as well. So I'm gonna put him in the if I have to tier. Because you have to just upgrade multiple stats to make him a usable card, in my opinion. But moving on, he'd probably be in the top of this tier though. I think he's better than Manu. He might be at the end of this tier. We'll decide later on. But Pete Maravich is like in between these 2 tiers right here. But moving on, yeah, Don Mitchell, which honestly I hate Don Mitchell's card in this game. His 3-point shot's still out of 4, and that definitely should be upgraded. Hopefully it gets upgraded at some point this season. His defending still out of 4 as well, which hopefully that gets downgraded. Well, maybe not anymore because when he plays from the Cavs, he's not playing as bad defense as he was with the Jazz. But his defense, was bad last season, so he should have gotten a 3-point shot upgrade this season and a defense downgrade this season, in my opinion. But yeah, he's also really undersized and he's not really that fast, so he can't really get to the rim like that. Same thing with Dwayne Wade. If they make this card faster, he probably goes into this tier, because at that point all you have to do is upgrade his 3-point shot and his defense. But right now, he's in this tier. I hope they make his card better because he's just not good, especially since considering he's undersized. Same thing with Dwayne Wade. But yeah, we're gonna put him right there for now. Think about Dwayne Wade. He at the very least has the defense, so he can upgrade his like playmaking and 3-point shot if he wants, or playmaking mid range, depending on how you feel about upgrading the card, or depending on what you want to do with it. But Donovan Mitchell, you have to like upgrade his defense because his defense isn't the greatest, and there's 3-point shot because it's like a 4 or his mid range. So you gotta do multiple things with Donovan Mitchell that you don't really have to do with Dwayne Wade. For Dwayne Wade, you just upgrade one of his shooting stats. He's a lot better, or upgrade his playmaking and one of his shooting stats. But yeah, moving on. Chris Middleton, we're gonna put him in the almost good enough tier as well. He like he like hits 3-point shots. He plays defense. He does basically everything you want from him to do. He's not the greatest at either of those things, so we're gonna put him in that tier right there. Moving on, we got Michael Redd, which I haven't used Michael Redd cards that much, but when I do use them, I don't really like them that much. So we're gonna put him in the haven't used tier for now, but he's more likely in the leave ASAP tier, because like when he doesn't hit jump shots that well. So I don't know, but for right now we're gonna put him in the haven't used tier. Sidney Moncrief, another one of those underrated shooting guards, like the same vein as the Dennis Johnson. Really good on defense, pretty good at driving to the rim as well. He's fast enough to get to the rim. Only thing you have to upgrade is the 3-point shot. We're gonna put him in the almost good enough tier, just because you have to upgrade his 3-point shot. I would say definitely try out Sidney Moncrief if you have not already. Really good on defense, really good at driving to the rim. Definitely recommend trying him out. Moving on about Karis LeVert, which his stats are terrible, so I haven't used this card. So yeah, hopefully he gets a Cavs card. The Cavs currently have like no shooting guards in the entire game. Hopefully Don Mitchell gets one as well. And they apply those upgrades as well. But hopefully he gets a Cavs card, because the Cavs have no shooting guards in the game. But moving on, Chris Duarte, he just now got added this season. I have not gotten this card, so I haven't used him. Buddy Hield, I do not like this card whatsoever. He doesn't hit Wildman threes, which he's Buddy Hield. He's like technically one of the greatest support shooters of all time, if you think about it. But like, he doesn't hit Wildman threes, doesn't play defense, doesn't what's his name? Not good at driving for him. Like, he doesn't really do anything. So I'm gonna put him in the leave ASAP tier. Rip Hamilton right here. He's kind of like the similar player as Chris Middleton. Defense is pretty good. 3-point shots pretty good. Doesn't really excel at either. Defense is actually better than Chris Middleton. So if we're gonna later on move him, like we're gonna move these players as far as like how we rank them later on. But like defense is pretty good. Mid range shots pretty good. 3-point shots. Only thing about 3-point shots is kind of like a longer release. Same thing with Chris Middleton. So we're gonna put him in the almost good enough tier. If his 3-point shot release was faster, he'll probably be in the pretty good tier. But moving on, Joe Dumars. He's kind of like the same player as not really the same as any of these guys actually. He's kind of the same player as like Victor Oladipo a little bit without driving to the rim as well. And his defense is still pretty good. 3-point shots still pretty decent. He's also kind of undersized for a shooting guard, it seems, in the game. So we'll put him in the almost good enough tier as well. Jerry Stackhouse, I don't know what's going on. I absolutely hate Jerry Stackhouse cards. Maybe because I have bad experiences with him. Because like whenever I have Jerry Stackhouse, I'm always like the lower power team. So we're gonna put him in the leave ASAP tier for now. He's probably better than that. He's probably like in the at the very least if I have to. We're gonna put him in if I have to tier just out of respect. But like maybe because I'm always at like the lower power, but like he doesn't hit like wild shots. He's not good at driving with the rim. Well, he's not bad drivers. Yeah, we'll put him in if I have to tier. But yeah, Jerry Stackhouse not the greatest what's the name shooting guard. We're gonna put Zach LaVine in the if I have to tier as well. We're gonna put him in the top of this tier. The thing about Zach LaVine is this jump shot like takes forever to go off, so he's kind of like impossible to use in game. And then he's not fast, so he can't really drive to the rim as well. Do I want to put him in the? We'll put him in this tier for now. Yeah, he's not really that fast, so he's not going to drive to the rim. His defense is at like a 4. It might be at 3. His defense, regardless, his defense isn't good, so he's not really that good at anything. So I kind of want to put him in the leave ASAP tier. We'll probably put him at the bottom of this tier. Well, I'll say he's kind of decent with all these cards. With that being said, we're going to move Pete Maravich up a tier. Now that I'm looking at it with these here, don't really belong in that tier. Zach LaVine is just his jump shot just takes forever. If he was faster, he'd probably be better. Same thing with like Dwayne Wade, Donovan Mitchell. But like, yeah, with the way his card is right now, we can't really move him in that tier above. Nate Green, haven't used that card. Tyrese Maxey, I haven't used him with his updated stats. He has like a 5 3-point shot now, and you got like updated stats like in other places. But like, he has like really good stats. I just haven't used his card because he hasn't gotten a free to play version of the card. Hopefully, he gets one pretty soon. All right, moving on. Allen Iverson, we're going to put him in the pretty good tier along with these guys. Actually, we're going to put him in the almost good enough tier. Do I think he's better? I kind of want to, yeah, we're going to put him in the pretty good tier. He's a pretty good first option type scorer, which you don't really want Allen Iverson as your first option, but he's not a bad first option type scorer. His 3-point shot isn't the best, and he's kind of undersized for a shooting guard. If they move him back to point guard, even though it's technically not really what he played that much when he played in the NBA, if they move him back to point guard, he would actually be really good for that tier. But he's just kind of undersized for the shooting guard position. And yeah, but he's still pretty good drive to the rim. I will say that he's pretty good at getting mid-range shots off. And his 3-point shot's the only thing that's bad. So if you upgrade his defense and his 3-point shot, he's probably a really good card for you. But like the bigger defenders at this position, he's kind of just like kind of suffers from that. So I kind of want to put him in this tier. I would say he's in between this tier and this tier, but we're gonna put him in this tier because he's not a bad first option scorer. Which there's not that many good first option scorers in the shooting guard tier. So we'll put him right there for now. James Harden is another one of those players I feel like is massively overrated. His 3-point shot, he's decent at hitting spot 3-point shots, but he's not the best. He's like the same thing as Trace McGrady. He's actually pretty good at hitting moving 3-point shots. His defense isn't the best. He's like decently fast. He's not really crazy fast, but defense isn't the best. So we'll put him in the pretty good tier as well. And then moving on, Matisse Thybulle. He has like a really good defensive stat. I've used him like one time, but like I haven't used him enough to where I can rank him. I'll probably, if I have to, I'll probably put him in the if I have to tier. And just upgrade his 3-point shot because defense also is pretty good. That's it. He's like a 3 and 3-point shot. And like if you put that up by 2, it's like average 3-point shot. So yeah, we'll put him in the haven't used tier for now. He may have quickly got downgraded this season, and I haven't used his card regardless. So we'll put him in the haven't used tier as well. I think he got like 3-point shot downgrade this season. But yeah, moving on, Allen Houston, another one of those underrated shooting guards. He's not the greatest at defense like the other guys, but like, his jump shot hits pretty well. He's not the fastest. He's kind of like a Chris Middleton type of player without like as good of a defense. I would say. Even though I like using Allen Houston cards more because I feel like his 3-point shot hits more. But yeah, we'll put him in the almost good enough tier. Along with those guys, Cam Thomas, have not used this card enough to comment on him. Jaylen Brown, will put him in this tier. He kind of has the same problem as a Jerry Stackhouse type of card with his release. But I feel like his release hits more often and he's better at driving to the rim. And defense, he's also taller, kind of. It feels like he's taller in the game. Maybe because I haven't really used this card that much. Current Jaylen Brown cards. I don't think I've used him since like the last minute theme, like a couple seasons ago. But yeah, still a pretty good card. I would say defense is pretty good. 3-point shot isn't bad. He's also not that bad of a defender. Pretty decent driving to the rim. I would say probably upgrade 3-point shot or his defending, or both of those if you can, or 3-point playmaking. I would say upgrade 3-point playmaking actually. But yeah, we'll put him in the almost good enough tier. For now, Zach LaVine was in this tier. We'll put him keep him right there. What's saying Ray Allen? We'll put him if I have to tier as well. His jump shot release takes kind of forever to go off, and then he doesn't have like the best release. So like he's like Ray Allen, so like or he doesn't have like the best like the rate of it going in either. So he's kind of like the same thing as Tracy McGrady, where his jump shot is just not the greatest. So yeah, we'll put him in the if I have to tier. Hopefully they make his cards better, because I feel like he should be better in the game concerning based off of how he played in real life, similar to like Don Mitchell and Dwayne Wade, as we said with some other players on this list. Moving on, we got Marcus Smart. We'll put him in if I have to tier as well. He has good enough defense to cover up for his size. Hopefully they move him back to point guard, because I'm pretty sure he plays mostly point guard on the Celtics, which he might not be playing point guard that much longer, considering they got Malcolm Brogdon now. He might start. But for now, as a shooting guard, we're going to put him in the if I have to tier. His defense is, as I said, pretty good, but he hasn't really had anything else outside of that. And I haven't really used cards that much, to be completely honest with you. So he might have like speed, but 3-point shot, you can like upgrade 3-point shot, upgrade playmaking. It's probably a really good card for you. And then Doug Christie, I literally just crafted this card when I was making this video because I realized I had enough collectibles. But he got like a card like in the last team. I haven't used this card yet, so I'm gonna put him right there. For the Evan Fournier card, I would say he is in this tier. He's basically a spot up shooter, like similar to Del Curry, but a little bit worse. So yeah, we'll put him in this tier as well. Seth Curry, he's a kind of an underrated spot up shooter. He's actually really good at hitting his threes. So if you're like really low power, and I'd say at least this is what I was doing last season. When he had I think he had a silver card last season. Well, I could literally check, but I'll show like a screenshot. But he actually hits 3-point shots. Like this card is actually really good at hitting 3-point shots. Only thing about him that he's like extremely undersized for the position. His defense isn't the best. But like if he hit a 3-point shot, like Seth Curry is really good. Bradley Beal, right here, I would say I'll put him in the if I have to tier as well. I would honestly, there would be occasions where I prefer to use Seth Curry over Bradley Beal, but Bradley Beal, I mean, he's like kind of undersized as well as Seth Curry. He's probably better at creating his own shot, but he doesn't have like the range like someone like Seth Curry, which is why I say I prefer to use Seth Curry. So yeah, he's probably better at like creating his own shot, but as I said, like, you know, I prefer to use Seth Curry in this game. And Anthony Edwards, I would say I haven't used him enough. Honestly, I don't feel like he's that good, so we're gonna put him in the if I have to tier as well. I feel like he kind of just needs some upgrades somewhere to be able to have him be used on the team. He has like a similar to release to Jaylen Brown, but I don't feel like he's as good as Jaylen Brown in this game. So we'll put him in the if I have to tier. But yeah, basically gonna be the end of the video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think about this tier list. I feel like it makes sense. In my opinion, as I said, this is all my opinion. Well, I haven't said that in this video, but this is all my opinion. It's not like definitive tier list. I'm gonna restructure these cards. Where is Jerry Stackhouse? We'll put he was in this tier. I'm gonna restructure this tier list as far as like rankings, and I will be right back. All right, so we're back. I moved some players around just to make it more like their actual ranking. So yeah, this is basically my ranking as well. I'm not completely sure about the whole Allen Iverson thing right there. I don't know. I thought he's good. Yeah, we're gonna leave him right there, and then the almost good enough tier. I would say these are like the top players of that tier. We're gonna move Allen Houston lower than Sidney Moncrief actually. So Sidney Moncrief would be the head of the almost good enough tier, and then Marcus Smart is the head of the if I have to tier, because you can like rely on his defense to bring you he's actually at least bringing that to the game. And then Lee's tab tier stays the same. And then haven't used here, of course, you'll say his name because I haven't used these cards like the past 2 minutes. But yeah, that's basically gonna be the end of this video. Definitely, if you guys want to fill out the tier list yourselves, let me know down in the comment section. If you want, I guess you let me know your whole tier list are your top 10 shooting guards in the entire game. That'll be more easier to read because I don't really feel like reading every single player in this game. But if you want to do that, you can do that as well. I'll probably read it because there probably won't be that many people that do it. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy the video, drop a like, subscribe if you guys are new, and peace out.